So this was a really fun swarm adventure. There's the queen, and there's me going down and trying to pick her up and missing, and then going again and then trying to catch her and then not being able to get her. The swarm came over the garden like that, and my neighbour called me, so I immediately went up there to get it. I had to get my swarm collection kit first. I went up and drove up into the forest just to grab my bits that I'd left up there, my bee suit, a smoker on the back of the car, and then just grab some bits to light it just in case I needed it. They're my wooden stove pellets. They're really good for keeping the smoker lit all day. That thing before you saw was a sheet, and then that's my hive cube box. So bear in mind my car is a little bit dusty there, isn't it? But checking all my bits in the car there. You do not understand how long it takes to put all these different camera angles together, but this is me putting together the bait box, or the box that I'm going to put the bees in. Just some nice comb there, brand new combs and frames, all sterilised, and then I just pop that into the front. Quite a big box there, and in hindsight, it didn't need to be that big. That's a 8x8 Langstruth box, and they are not even fitting that now. So driving back to go and get the bees at this point, and I was enjoying the nice sunshine. And a little bit wobbly here, but it's my neighbour. So I'm kind of pulled up at my house there, and I'm walking around just to my neighbour's, who's 2 doors along, to go and have a look and see what the swarm is like. It's very exciting at this point. I love going and catching swarms because you never know what you're going to get. Like sometimes you get really nice, chilled out, calm colonies, big colonies that you can do stuff with. Other times you get kind of aggressive, horrible bees that hurt you quite a lot. I would say this one here was somewhere in between those two extremes there. But it was nicely clustered up. It was good. It was in a very accessible part of the tree, which is nice. You've not got to kind of climb up and do anything. So I went back to the car and I grabbed my boxes. And for all of these videos, I like to place the cameras down and get all these different camera angles. And it's crazy watching back because it took ages doing all of this. But anyway, back and forth from the car and numerous different camera angles and dropping all my bits down there. And then this is what I'm doing on this one. So you get the sheet on it. The idea here is that you want to be able to see the queen. Now, if you just go and bump the bees into a box, you can't really see if there's a queen there. So it's quite nice on the swarms where they hang themselves up on a tree to put the sheet down. And then instead of bumping the swarm into a box, you're bumping the swarm onto a sheet. And you can't quite get the angle there, but as long as they're running uphill into the box, they will just try and go up, and then you get a really nice, easy visible of that queen. Even though, like in this one, I see the queen and still couldn't get her. But you see, I drop the bees like that there, and loads of them go and cluster up back at the top. A good tip that someone actually gave me straight after this video was if you spray the branch that they're on with deodorant, it stops them going back to it immediately, and then all of them will be down here, which is much, much better. So there we go. I thought, oh, really easy swarm video today. I'm going to go and get the queen and pick her up. Like I even moved the camera to get that, and then she flew off. And if anyone knows, when you go out swarm catching, if the queen flies off, it's not a good start. It really isn't the best start in the world. And I can't even think of a single time where I found the queen, gone to try and get her, she's flown off, as happened loads of times, but then I found her after that. It really, really is challenging. So whenever I go into swarm collections now, I try and bring like a backup. You see I've got one there, backup queen, because a lot of the time you just can't find the queen. So if you've got a backup, you can sometimes trick them into going in if you've got a nice, really prolific queen with a good pheromone. So that's exactly what I did here. There probably is still a queen, and I think they would have moved up there without me placing that queen in. But you can see them, they're moving there now. So they're all moving up into the box, some of them bearding on the front, but I could see them at the entrance. They were piling in. And I use this opportunity here just to kind of go and have a look and see if the queen is there. Sometimes you do see them, but normally the queens are the ones to jump straight in and go in. So all of the bees, I say all of the bees, some of the bees were clustering back up there. So I went up and took off the branch and put it down. And as I said before, deodorant on that branch there would have been quite good. Obviously not spraying deodorant on the bees, but I'd shake the bees off and then deodorant on the branch. But the neighbour said I could just cut a bit of the tree off there. So I cut it off and went and put it off somewhere else. And then you can see it's getting dark now. All the bees are clustering up. They want somewhere nice to hunker up overnight. That's all they care about here. You can see the movement to try and go inside. And then I got Ivy, so that's my little daughter holding the camera here. Good work, Ivy. Going back about like 2 or 3 hours later here. So I would say the first bit is at about 2 o'clock, and then I've gone back in maybe at 5 o'clock. And this bit here is probably like 6 or 7 o'clock on a summer's evening. And even watching this back now, I can see and smell and kind of feel the heat. Like you can feel the heat pumping out of that box there. There is so many bees in there. And there was still a few bees there, and I sent my daughter home at this point, and I thought, oh, you know what, I'm not going to go and get my bees here. I'll just shake them off here because I might take one of them. It's not the end of the world. I took a lot of stings. I cut that bit out. There was a little bit of cursing, I'm not going to lie. But we didn't need that here. So the bees are now in the box. And then this is 4:30 or like 4:45 in the morning the next day. You'll see my face in a minute and you'll realise that it is very, very early in the morning. But what I'm doing now is I'm going back out to get the bees. I left them all there to go in overnight. So every single one goes in the box. And then if you go in at this time of the morning, and bear in mind this is earlier on in the year, so it's quite cool at this time in the morning, sneaking through into my neighbour's garden. Everyone's asleep. If anyone was up looking at me here, they'd be thinking, what is this guy doing? This is some strange activity going on for 4:30 in the garden. But you can see there hardly any bees clustered up upstairs, and then when I go down to the nuke, you'll see nothing at the entrance. Every single bee has gone inside because it's nice and warm inside. So this is my expert method for securing a nuke. You take some tape and you tape over the entrance like that, and then that's it. When I was watching this video back, I was thinking, why have I not brought my ratchet strap here? Ratchet strap would have made things a lot easier. But yeah, that was my method. So I just kind of took the box and then bumped into something. I'm not really sure what I bumped into there, but yeah, that'll do. That's secure enough, isn't it? A bit of tape over the front. We don't need to strap anything up here. It's very early in the morning. Nobody's watching. I could have tripped over those steps. Just imagine if I'd have tripped down one of those steps and all the bees have gone everywhere, because there is nothing secure in that box apart from a piece of tape over the entrance. So anyway, we're going down now, going out of my neighbour's house, and I love this bit here. Look how many angles I do here. This is 4:30 in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. And it's only me here. There's no cameraman. There's no one else. There's like one camera angle, two camera angles, and then you think, oh, he's done here. There's no more camera angles coming here. Don't even check back. Look, I'm not even doing any little looks. I'm playing it serious. Yeah, there's another camera angle. It goes on and on and on. My house there is the one like jutting out right onto the road with a massive bee on the side of it. But at this point, I realised there's a massive hole in the top, so I thought, okay, well, I better seal that up before I put them in the car. Ow! Stung both hands at this point. And then I get them into the truck, and this was the bit when I was watching this video back, I was thinking, oh, that is very, very close to coming open there. But I joke about it. They're not really coming out, and I'm quite easy getting stung by the bees anyway. And I know they're just a very short drive up the road to where they're going. Which was nice at this time of the night. It's well, yeah, I say night, it's kind of morning, but I got the bees up there, and it's making me laugh already a little bit because I know what's coming up at the end of this video. So I didn't have a quarantine apiary for this one. My idea was that I'm just going to put it on this stand on the other side of the apiary and not touch them. And I've literally not touched them, so it's effectively good, and they're still there, so nothing's wrong with them. But what made me laugh with this colony here is that they are just like a local feral swarm. And we don't like local feral swarms because they're angry and they're aggressive and they sting me, and I never got on with them. And then I watched this video here and it made me laugh so much. So here we go. Like, I take the tape off at the end, one bee comes out and then it stung me in the arm like that. And that is what local feral bees do. They are just angry for no reason whatsoever. And that's the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed it. That is the real end of the video then, me putting a brick on the end. I will be back to do more of these because this was good fun.